So let's start and make our website, right? And let's send the error to the client. A beautiful error with couple seconds and they're gone. So let's go with Toaster. And first of all, we need a couple things to start with: a template, HTML, login page, and of course an Express.js blank template. So let's go ahead and just download this. You can download this as a zip file or just clone this with HTTPS, or I'm just going to clone this. You can download it as a zip file. Cool. So I'm going to open my Commander terminal, then I will sudo to my desktop. I just need to delete this file. So cd desktop and git clone this repository, right? So now I'll wait until the download finished, then I will start the work. Of course, if you're a beginner and you don't know how this works, first you need to have a Visual Studio Code as a text editor, or maybe Atom. It depends on you. Also, you need a terminal so that you can work with the GitHub. You should also install the Git package. You can download it from Google, and you have to just follow with me and concentrate, because if you have no knowledge, or if you just want to start programming, then this lesson is not for you, because this is going to be an intermediate level. So in this, when you see this lesson, which means that you are able to code or to do some stuff, right? Cool. So the files is going to be finished, so we will wait them. 77% done. Cool. Now let's move on into this folder we have uploaded, and there is 2 zip files. Select them 2. I'm using WinRAR, and I will do extract for a separate folder. So here is the file. So let's remove this one too. I will just drag this into my desktop, because I love working with in my desktop rather than folders. Cool. So these are the files. This is our blank page, Express.js, and this is the login page. So let's go and take a look at the login page. So this is the login page we are going to work with, or to interact with. As you see, it has a beautiful animation. It's so beautiful. So let's go back into our terminal. So let's type cd express.js. We are going to enter to this folder, and let's type nodejs. But before that, I need to open it with the code, Visual Studio Code first. I want to make sure that everything looks fine. You have to make sure that you have a MongoDB installed into your system, otherwise this is not going to work. Otherwise, you can use the MongoDB cluster from mongodb.com. So let's go into the env. Inside of the env file here, you can put here your database. In this case, I'm going to say toaster db. I'm going to name it as this name. Save. Now let's check for the database. Everything looks fine. The routers too, that we have no routers. So let's create our router. Let's remove this comment. So router get slash, which is home, and I will name it. I will push it inside, or I will call it from user controller index function called or method called index. I want to work with this because this is going to be more structured. So let's go to the controllers file and type this index. User controller.javascript. And here we can just type export index, and this is the method that we are going to call request and response. And we need here to say, just to make sure that everything looks fine, works. Cool. Let's run with nodemon. If you don't have nodemon, try to type npm install nodemon/g. Once it's installed, you can run with nodemon. So nodejs enter, let's wait for something or a connect, because it's going to look to the database. Otherwise, let's go check localhost 3000. Yeah, it's not going to run because I think I didn't run my MongoDB server. So I will go and start mongod. Yeah, type mongod. Run our database. Go back to the node tab. Yeah, we weren't connected. Okay, so nodejs. Now we should see an error. So user controller is not defined. Cool. So let's go back into our router.js, and at the top or underneath this, I'll type a constant user controller. I'm going to require this from controllers user controller. I think, yeah, save. Now we should see connected. Cool. Now let's go back, refresh, and we should see here works. Cool. Now we need to implement this page. You see this? Awesome. It's beautiful. I like it. So inside of this works, you can go into the page. I'm gonna make sure that I'm recording this video. Cool. So let's go into our templating engine. Cool. So let's go into login, copy this one, index HTML, go to the folder and go to the views and paste it here. This is the first step. So let's go back into our visual code editor, click on views, right click, rename this. I want to change HTML to EJS because we are going to work with EJS templating engine. So this is our templating, or this is our HTML, and we need also to include, if we not include the JavaScript, then this is what we should say. Of course, we didn't implement this in user controller. So instead of send, it's render, and it's going to be here index, because here it's in index in the views. Refresh, and we should see this not good or without styling. It looks ugly, you know. But if we do the trick here, just copy all these files, copy it, and go back to public and paste them all here. Now we should see a result. You see, it looks awesome, perfect. Of course, I have here a black screen because I'm using a darker reader or a extension that turns every website into a dark mode. If you, in your case, you are going to see this page. Mine is black, yours is white. That's it. So let's go back into our page, and from here we're going to work. Cool. So first of all, we need to get the data from the member login, which means when, for example, something, or we type something here, and if we click on login, I should receive a data inside of our console here, right? Cool. So how to do this? We have to first make sure that we are parsing data from the app.js, and let's take a look. Yeah, we did this in here, these two lines of code. Cool. Now let's go back into our index EJS, and let's take a look, or let's type here form. Look at the form. So this is the form. Yeah, in line 33 here. In the form here, we need an action, and this action is going to be inside of the same route, and we need a method, and this method it's going to be post, because we are going to post data from this login page. Cool. Now let's go into here. So the first input is an email, so the name is email, and the second one is password, so the name, I think I want to make it password too. Finally, we have the button here, so it's going to be redirect as, so we need this type to be submit for the button. button, sorry. Cool. So now let's go back into our browser here, refresh, and nothing happened because we still need we didn't enter data first, and then we have to make a router for this because this is not going to work. So let's go into router. What is this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Router dot post. Inside of the same router, I'm going to call user controller index post. Cool. So let's go into here. I'll just copy this, and here I'm going to make a post. Instead of press render here, we need to console log the data, and the data we are going to send is from the body, request.body. Cool. Now let's go back, refresh, and type, for example, hello, it's me. Log in. Validation. Okay. Cool. It has a validation. So let's go into our console, and you'll see, hello, this email, and it's me is the password. Cool. This is the first step. So the second step is we need to send this to a model so that we can post this data inside of our MongoDB database. So let's go into model here and create a new user.js and type constant user is going to be to have a function that receive receive data, and this data is going to be stored, or this received data is going to be stored in this variable called this data. Cool. So the next thing we need to do is we need to call the user prototype, and let's say, for example, create, and this is going to be inside a function. And so in this function we probably need to console log this data. That's it. We are going to have the same result, but what I actually need to do is I'm going to pass in this data inside of the model. Let me show you what I mean. So let's type let user equal user, because this is a blueprint, you know. Okay, so request.body, I'm going to pass this as data. All right, cool. Now let's call this create method. So user create, then, or let's say, just because this is a little bit advanced, so user create. Cool. Let's go back, refresh, continue. User is not defined, of course, because we didn't export this module. So module export user, save. Now we should see the result. User is not defined too. Yeah, okay, because we didn't call this user here. So constant user is going to be required inside of the model user. Cool. Let's go back, refresh, continue, and we should see the same result. Yeah, cool. Now we are receiving data. Now we need to put this data inside of our database. How to do this? Any quick? Let's return new promise, and let's resolve and reject. I'm sorry, it's going to be inside a function reject. And what we actually need to do, we need to wait for users collection. From where I get this, I will show you from where I got this. Insert one, and we are going to insert this data. And here, let's copy this one, and we need to add new variable called user collection that require the DB, the database file, and we are going to call the database name and the collection that called users. We don't have any users collection yet, but if we go to collection and do a refresh, you should see just the sessions table created. or collection, but the user is not yet created. But once it's inserted, then the user's collection is going to be created. Okay, guys. So once this is true, then resolve. We're not going to do some validation and stuff like this because this is going to be in other tutorials. So we fix this. Now we need to put, if this resolved, then rest redirect to the same page. Otherwise, if there is an error, catch it and rest redirect to the same page. And the trick here is we need to pass in an error using request flash. So let's go into request flash and we'll name it here success, and let's type here you say welcome user, and now let's say request session save, and inside of it is going to have we are going to have a function, and let's type, or let's put this redirect here. I'll just do the same. Instead of success, it's going to be an errors, and something went wrong. Cool. This is it. We need to pass in this request flash error to the home page. So we need just to here make a comma and pass in the error by typing success request flash success, the same name here. Also comma, and we need we have errors request flash errors. That's it. Cool. I will show you how to call this for a moment. Now we have to make sure that this is when someone have the same idea or same user, we will check if the user is the same, otherwise it's not going to be logged in. But first we need to insert this, and then we are going to change it later on. Cool. So let's go back into our success and error here. We have two of them. So let's go back and refresh and see if we should see an error or something like that. Yeah, await, it should be inside of async function. Of course, where is the await? This one, you need to put the here async function. Now let's go and refresh. Cool, we have been redirected, but we don't know if this is success or not. It should be success, because if we go to the database and refresh, we should see the users, and the user has been created. Cool, now we should compare the results. So this is for creation, and I will type user prototype updates, or check, and type name function. It's going to return as usual new promise, the async resolve reject. Cool. Now we need to await for user collection and find. We need to find one. We need to find with an ID, or let's say first we need to check if this email or there is something with the same email, right? So this data.email, because from where I grabbed this one, here we have email. And if we go to the index.egs, we should see here the name is email. Cool. So here the trick. Then, and if it's success, if it's founded, then tell us. Otherwise, catch error, and we are going to pass in this error inside the template engine. So let's say here reject. I'm just going to reject this one. You can do this, but if you feel like this is going to be hard for you, I will show you another way to do this by just simply add a comma here and type error and founded, and this function is going to be what I was going to call this. So if founded and founded email, if the email in the database is the same as the email that the user typed, then true. Otherwise, reject username, say invalid email or password. One of those two is wrong, right? Password, cool. So if it's the email, now if we let this and resolve it, which means that we are going to get an error, and we don't need, not the error, but we are going to give the access to everyone who has this email. So we need to check if also, I'm going to make it here, and if, and if the founded password is the same as this data password. If those two conditions are true, then resolve. Welcome back. We've sent those two messages inside of here. So instead of the then, I will type here success, and I will change this welcome user to this success, and error I'm going to call it here, which means that we are passing those two messages to the front end. Cool. Or sorry, to the user controller. Cool. So this is the first step we need to do. We need to check. Awesome. So now instead of create, we need to check. Cool. Now let's go back into the index. Where is it? Index EJS, and here at the top, for example, in this section here, we'll do some EJS stuff. So if, we have success message. For each message, if there's a lot of messages as a message, let's close the EJS text to not get in trouble. Here, I will create a new div with a class of alert success, and print out the message. Otherwise, I'll just copy this one. Otherwise, if there is an error, call me this error, and instead of the success, it's going to be here the color red, which is dangerous. So let's go back, refresh, and for example, type this password. You see, invalid email and password. But instead, if I type hello, this email, hello.com, and here, if I type it's me, now we should see welcome back, which means we already logged in. Cool. Now, how we can actually push this message as a toaster? Let me show you. I'm sorry for the video because it's going to be long, but I'm going to split this into 2 parts or 3 parts so that you can follow easily. Cool. So if you feel tired, just bring a cup of coffee and relax and complete with me. Okay, guys? Cool. Now we have finished with this. We have included these errors. Because these errors are included, I don't actually need to put this here, or I don't want these errors to be here. I need them to be appeared as a toaster. So let's go and look up the toaster plugin, and there's a lot of things here. Let's go with the first one. There's a simple JavaScript toaster here. There's a lot of toasters. If you got the idea, then you will probably understand how this works. So this is the toasters syntax. So let's see how this works. Let's see this toaster by code 7. I don't know, the network's so bad today. Okay, so what is it? Let's see of the demo. Let's see the demo. I want to show you how the demo works, so that you can get the idea of how these things works. You know. So there is here another page for toaster. This CDN demo is the same, I think. Show to, yeah, this one. You see, this is the toaster that we're actually going to create. Cool. So let's go back into our page, and here is some stuff where we need to make it. So toaster is hosted at CDN. Maybe we can use CDN, or maybe let's go with the CDN. So copy those two lines of code, go to the top here, paste them, and let's see, for example, for the style, see, I'll just copy this code and paste it here again, and instead of main CSS, I'm going to call this line. And for the JavaScript, I will try to make it at the footer. So scripts src save. Cool. The last thing I think we should do is this. We are not going to work with these. So three easy steps, links. Yeah, and let's try to pass in an error like this, for example. I want to make sure that everything looks fine. So where is okay, so here I will say script, and here it's going to be document toaster, like this one. Let's take a look at document ready jQuery. Yeah, so we need to first say here like this, document ready, and it should have a function here. I forgot the syntax, you know, guys. Yeah, is ready. Cool. So inside of here we should call the toaster, but I need to make sure. Let's take a look at our website. Where is it? Yeah, you see, we have the toaster here. Now we need to just pass in the data inside of this toaster. So first of all, we need to push every single error inside of an array. So this is the first step we need to do. So I will create two arrays here. So let's start with the first array. So let first array equal to an empty array. This is the first thing. So the second thing is we need to remove the alert. This is just for to show you the example. So the second thing is we need to remove the equal. We are not going to print out the error. We need to push this error inside of the first array. So how to do this in a quick first array dot push the message. We are going to push every message inside of this array. This is the first thing we need to do. Then we need to do let's start with the first, then we are going to move with the second one. So this is the array that we looking for. So let's go down, and here we need to type or create a variable. Let's say for example toast me as an example, and this variable is going to be, or is going to have this variable or this type of array. Now if I do console log, the first, or the toast me, I know I should see this inside of the inspect element. So let's inspect element this. Nothing here, but if I type, for example, I don't know, make this say, let's just make a random messages, and we should see, well, yeah, we did the success, so we need to say, to type the actual result. So you see here, there is a message called welcome back. So we have here the message. Because here we have just one message, we don't need actually to split the errors. But if we have a lot of messages, we have to split them. But I will show you how to do this, don't worry guys. So here we have, just to remove the old message, and type toast me and save. Go back, hit refresh to this page, and we have here an empty message. Don't worry about that. I will show you how to remove this one. So let's type here the hello, it me, and we have the message here. Just let me show you here what's wrong with this. We need to see a message here. So let's type here a condition. If toast me is empty or is not null, then give me this message. Right? Cool. Now let's go back, refresh. Now it should gone. So let's go to hello. And as you see, here we have the toaster that says welcome back, and it's going to be gone within a few seconds. Cool. So what if you want to change what if we want to change the color? You just need to change the toaster messages here. Let's take a look at the toaster example. For example, in here we have success message, and we have also the success. Save, go and refresh. Hello. And you see, it's changed to the green one. Cool. Now let's do the same thing with the error message. So I will just copy the array, and let's type here second array. Save and push this array, or this error inside of the array. Now let's go down and say let toast me second equal to this one. Save, and do the same thing with the condition. So if the second toast me here, and here I think is error or errors, I will check in the documentation. Error, yeah. So let's go and refresh. Now I will just type random email, and we should see invalid password and email. That's it. So guys, this is how you can actually work with it. What if you have a lot of errors? For example, here in the success message here, we have resolve welcome back. For the reject here, we have a couple of errors, and let's say, for example, here, let's errors this variable, and this error is going to be the first one, invalid email, and second one is invalid password. Here we have a lot of email errors, because 2 is not like 1, you know. So let's type errors here. We're going to pass in the reject error. If I go back now and refresh and type any email and any password, log in, we should see here a comma, you know. So we need to split this two with a comma. So how to do this in a quick? We have to go. Let's go back into the index.ejs, and here, where is the error? Here's the error. Before we toaster this error, I will just cut this, we need first to toast. Second, we need to split this one with a comma, and for each a word splitted by the comma, let's type here as a word, and if here there is a word, toast me the words errors. Cool. Now we should see a message. Otherwise, if we have an error, then we will see how to fix this error. So let's click login, and as you see here, we have 2 error messages here. Cool. So this is it, guys. See you in the next episode. Don't forget to visit vfxdojo.com and subscribe, like if you like, or smash the likes button if you like, of course, my tutorial. See you guys in the next lectures.